You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of, well, in fact, 2 weeks of, because I was ill, March the 16th to March the 29th, 2024. We're going to double each episode rather than do 6 and then another 6 or whatever it is.
The advantage of doing it this way
crazy.
The advantage of doing it this way is like we could be a fortnightly podcast, but then we'd have to do this amount every fortnight.
Yes.
Let's see how fast we can do it. Set your watches and go.
MASHLE, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc, Episode 22, Wahlberg, Vigan, and the Greatest Danger, plus Episode 23, Mash Burn Dead and the Origin of the Greatest Magic User. Or, if you're an idiot like me, Episode 23 and 24. Not just jump past Episode 22.
Well, it's just Wahlberg getting his ass kicked anyway. So it's like, I'm doing all the moves. I'm using the wand properly. I'm taking the safety off and everything. I've summoned to turn into a big boxy transformer god of all space. And this motherfucker, like all good anime like villains like Dio or anything like that, uses time travel bullshit and cancel it all out. It's like, ah ha 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 ha.
As is often said, the most powerful magic isn't friendship, it is chronomancy. It's basically just like, all right, Wahlberg, he's unleashing his thirds spell of, I think it's like world erasing or something like that. He can erase the fucking world because he's got the maximum space magic, and he can erase the world if he feels like it, apparently. So I'm just going to erase the entire area around you, Innocent Zero. And Innocent Zero is like, I'm going to rewind time so that didn't happen. It's like, fucking... That's bullshit.
Some stuff like, anything happened to you or like that. That still counts. So when I age, your left arm off your body just dissolves into dust. That still counts. That doesn't get around back. Piss off with this. And he's getting ready for a long walk up a shore. People's getting like, my backstory when I was a young man, I was very sickly and bedridden, and I didn't have the strength of that, but I had the perseverance and the empathy. This Adam Jobs came by every day and bothered me about, hey, what did you hear? But this
interesting animal facts basically, bothering him with that, and just trying to reach out to this Cade, who the kind of world had left behind. And Wahlberg learned empathy through that, and he was trying to teach him noblesse oblige, the powerful help the weak. And it's like, I think I'm starting to learn it, but now as I die, I'm about to die in this fucking wizard fight. I mean, like, I guess I won't be able to pass it on to the next generation. What's that? The next generation here to put a knee into that fucker's face? All right.
Nice, ugly kind of caving in with the face. It's like, this is the arch villain, but he still gets the business.
He's still capable of being smushed.
And he's there for a minute. It's just like, I didn't care about your rules about magic and non-magic. Use Indian justice. I'm going to do what I always do and crush it with my fist. And he's saying all that, and you're kind of wondering in the back of your mind, how is he kind of floating in the air and doing that? And then immediately when you get into the next bit, it's just like, oh yeah, of course he's doing this, like, just do the duck legs, just like really quickly in the air. Looney Tunes.
From the waist up looks very cool, but from the waist down looks Looney Tunes. All right. Is it Wahlberg or is it the commentator who comments on it? It's like, oh right, he's doing that. I think it's the commentator.
No, it's Wahlberg.
Is it? Okay, sometimes it's hard to tell because Wahlberg is basically speedwagoning this whole time as well. So yeah.
I've seen some things in my time.
It's like the glance down at the legs.
Doesn't get the full, that face gets smaller or nothing like that. He's too refined for that kind of nonsense. Good thing Innocent Zero is his body is starting to pop back up against him. So oops, I guess I've been kicking ass for too long. I haven't adjusted to this new form yet, but I'll be back. Or maybe I won't need to be if I make all the dead monsters into one big giant monster that's going to crush the whole school.
It's a good way of introducing your villain. We're about halfway through now, aren't we? I think I checked the chapters it was adapted, and I was like, I think that was
this is sort of 70s, early 70s we're in.
And it's 170 something as a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's doing that thing where there's we're going to show how bad a villain is when whoever the master or sensei or like that is, they're going to get their they'll fight, go out like a champ, but they'll still go out. And what I liked in this case, I've seen that kind of thing get done so many times that yeah, he's fucking half his left half of his body has been aged 1,000 years at once. But he's still kicking around. He's okay, but it didn't just kill him off entirely for some cheap beat.
Another show would have shown his backstory, and then he would have died tragically, and the hero has to rise up. But the hero rises up in this case to go, no, none of this tragic bullshit. This is a comedic shonen fucking property. We're gonna beat the bad guy, and most everyone's gonna be friends by the end of this fucking thing. And also it's just good pacing of your ultimate villain showing up, but not quite ready to beat the good guys yet. But still, the good guys can't beat him yet, so it's kind of like a bit of it's a good standoff moment.
Yeah, 62 chapters plus the one shot. We'll wrap things up. I assume the next episode is the wrap up. Definitely felt like the wrap up, and that takes us to chapter 74. So, yeah, I guess
you
might
watch
be able
the next
to squeeze...
episode. You know.
Yes, I guess you might be able to squeeze Is there a short arc they can turn into a movie? As is the fashion these days.
The style at the time.
Well, I mean, all they have to do is hello, it's me, a new magic guy with specific movie-based magic that will involve probably a giant CGI monster of some kind. Mash, would you kick its ass, please, for the next hour and a bit?
Well, they have to inter-school meet there as well, where they gotta go against the evil school. But I think that could be too long for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've watched next week, so we can talk about that next time.
But yeah, in the end of this one with Mash fighting the, I guess, combined corpses of all the demons into a super zombie demon thing that's going to kill all the students. The students have been unfrozen in time because Innocent Zero has stepped into a portal.
It was interesting there because fucking Rio Grant, he was coming in with fucking little Rudy on the broomsticks, and it's just it's just if you haven't got a high enough magic power level, that's what it freezes you. Which interestingly means that among all of the student body, you expect Lance, you expect the visionaries over there, but Dot is also he got out of there. It's okay.
He's technically a second.
Well, yes.
He's got 2 marks, but his mark is kind of fucking weird. And also, as he shoots explosion at a giant zombie amalgamation of demons, he's like, "Oh, that did nothing. Fuck, we're in a lot of trouble." It has an anti-magic field. What could we possibly do against it?
I don't know. If only someone could punch it really, really, really hard.
Yeah, essentially there's only 2 arcs left in the entire series, so...
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's 2 seasons. You're good.
Yeah, just have to, turn the speed up a little bit to fit it into 2 seasons, though.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was wondering about. I guess they could just do 3 shorter seasons. That might work. Do a Dr. Stone season instead.
Yeah, that would probably work for pacing as well. I worry popularity is going to make them go no, draw it out rather than just no, wrap it up as well as this thing tended to do as a comic.
Well, there's enough in there, and they were kind of. I can remember from the first series of this, they were kind of slowing a little bit. It was a number of instances that they're just fucking around with the rest of the class like that, and it's just you still get that, but I think it's welded in better with they've got more active bits of the story there, so they can kind of maybe get rid of some of that cruft and or just kind of collapse it in a little bit.
And there's one repeated joke that you can probably whittle out the time on later in the series. That's MASH. Then we got 2 episodes of High Card, Sweet Home and Last Shot, in which we left Finn. He'd been swallowed by his brother. And we discover them inside their family home, inside the Black Knight.
Well, that's what you can't believe anyway. And it's
yes.
No, actually, he's actually mad enough. He's actually cuckoo enough that he actually has rebuilt in a fucking warehouse their childhood home brick by brick.
And the kind of thing of him going through the house is wait, this is fucked up and weird. And it's I built it all for you, brother. But in the actual warehouse part, he has the the crazy stalker wall of pictures of his brother kind of thing. And I've forgotten to mention it because I thought of it early on, but the series was so like engaging, it actually pushed it out of my head. It was like, whatever happened, Mr. Apple? I like that guy. That guy seemed all right. It's like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's fucking. I was like one watching you. I was one borrowed bursts card for the day, and just went out and just stalked you like that in person. That's why there was this weird vibe going on.
Yeah. That's why Mr. Apple did not like Chris, because it's like you're trying to get in the way of him being a brother / in love with him. I don't know. It's a weird situation, is what this whole situation is.
So, of course, the rest of the gang, I gotta try and track him down. When Chris and Burst gotta do it, and we're kind of having this little, like, we're on two sides of the law. Well, we're kind of paramilitary organization here, kind of a secret, like, intelligence agency. So I guess we're kind of both kind of operating outside the law here. But we know what it's like, to put your life on the line for somebody you love, using these cards. So I can see, like, you're doing like the right thing in the wrong way. It's just coming from a good place, but I understand that all too well. And that's kind of that sets it up later when like Burst is just like saying, "Well, I'm for the high jump. I've been fucking getting nosebleeds all the time and you've been doing too many X hands. So I can just, Chris, I'm gonna give you a chance to carry on our shared will together."
Yeah, which seems to fix Chris's power permanently.
Properly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she, oh yeah. By the way, Sugar Peas is there the entire time, but not very useful basically until the last episode.
She gets a moment in the last episode.
She does get a moment in the last episode, which I do appreciate.
I mean, like when you see it fucking like Tilt, he just like he has the fun big broadsword out. He just launched it through the air like a half ton of metal, and this fun pins Chris to the wall. Just fucking launches him across the room.
So yeah, and
the gun ain't gonna do much to that.
Burst, she was like saying, is like, it wasn't my first X hand. I did the fire thing to turn him into Mr. Apple so he could stalk him as a creep in season 1. But the thing of her basically, because she's playing also, it seems to be like it enhances your own power. So her power is
it includes the card you've got played right now.
Yeah,
playing one.
So it's the idea that she could turn his body back to its normal form and also heal him using his own card, basically. But at the cost of her own life. And she's like, yeah, I'll do this because he's too far gone for me to save him. He won't listen to me anymore, but you might be able to talk him down. So I'm gonna put all my trust in High Card, which is good. I also lets Chris use his go-to move of slam a whole fucking car into you, which is great. A very bad move if you don't have super healing, but like a great move if you do.
And they establish that it's clear that he's got the healing back when he gets his arm cut off in the next episode, and he refers to himself as the immortal ladies man, which I think he's done up until this point.
Yeah.
But can they talk him down?
No.
That's the hard choice you gotta make, yeah.
They come pretty close because obviously the coronation is still fucking happening. The king's going to play the Joker, and the High Card are like, please don't do this, Your Majesty. This is a bad idea. We're currently under attack from a super powered knight. The entire military has been taken out by him, and they're like, no, we're going to do it anyway. And they come so close. He comes so close to talking down his brother, but then like random guards start shooting at the knight, and it's like, that's not going to work then, is it? If randos are just going to butt in like that. Oh, well.
Throw everything they got at it, Wendy, what you gotta do, you gotta yank it out and leave it to Love P to do it, because she's good at this kind of thing. And holds him back for a good while, but it's not good enough.
Yeah.
But it seems like more of a restrained thing. She's going after the Black Knight and the Black Knight only.
Yeah.
A bit more like a bit more of equality getting into this like weird economy they have.
Yeah. VJ saves a couple of sisters and then gets called an old man for his trouble.
VJ was there and he helped.
It's just going that way. Sorry, VJ.
He's also picking out the violent protesters from the anti-monarchy guys who are like, hey, it says like they're anti-monarchy, and their signposts claim they're anti-monarchy, but according to the newscast, they're just protesting that now's a bad time to do this, Your Majesty. And I was like, I don't think they're protesting that. I think they're protesting the idea of monarchy.
Well, we got in the middle of a cost of living crisis. You know, we're spending money on this like state fucking coronation ceremony.
Yeah. King's not even fucking dead. Come on, this is a complete waste of the taxpayers' funds.
We're doing our best down here in the ritual temple beneath the castle.
So they go down the temple. They stop the king from using the Joker, insult his pride. Finn uses his street thief abilities. Again, I don't think we've seen him really use this season.
No, he hasn't really had the chance. Like, Your Majesty, I'm trusting you to mind this Joker card. Can you do that for me? And his Majesty, yeah, okay, I'll fucking do it. And he runs off with Finn's business card, which is that's nice.
That's like, but I haven't forgotten about it. You can still do that. It's just, and when we have the opportunity to do it, we're going to remember that.
Yes,
I do like this fight a lot better with Finn and Chris versus I keep forgetting the Black Knight's name.
San Galgano.
Where it's just like, what are these two guys going to do against him? Is like run rings around him essentially, because he's very much so, I'm gonna come at you with a sword, and they're just like, they're a bit trixier than that. Like,
and Plan B is Chris to climb inside and steal the card.
Because anyone else would fucking die if that happened. But not the immortal ladies man, so he's good.
Which they do, but then it turns out the card's using the man rather than the man using the card, and the card just transports itself back to the man. And so Finn has to pop a bullet in his brother's head to put an end to it.
Your power is gone, and your brother is holding back his Iron Man armoring up thing. He's trying to keep the head empty of it for a little bit, and he's like, I got to do it. It's very not quite Point Break, but that kind of thing.
It is like we've seen somebody like it's like these cards stick on to and they never like have like give up until like see if you know the way to kind of get it off him. And this card, this malevolent card, you have is like. It's driving you around. There's only one way to get out, as we've seen, and that's to kill the user. And that's like it feels like a stage long journey now, and it feels like there's still like a little bit more they can go and do with this. This is like finishing like he was new to high card and getting used to this world in the first bit of it, and now with Chris sidelined, he had to kind of take the lead instead and allow the jobs they're gonna do here, and he has to kind of think. It's the part of what being high characters as well, taking responsibility for the tragedies that these things can kind of inflict to others or to ourselves, especially when they're to ourselves.
Yeah, and that was a lot of his arc this season as well, where he's promoted above Chris. He's doing the same thing for Chris in hospital that Chris was trying to do for him when he was holed up in his room, that kind of thing. It's definitely shown like a lot of growth in him as a character. And I guess killing his brother is the thing that proves he's moved beyond who he was before. He's accepted his new family by murdering the last of his whole family. It's an odd way of showing it, but it works. Thematically, it works. Yeah.
Couldn't bring himself to kill God, but fine, killing his own brother.
I mean, like it's the difference of God's just sad, whereas like you can bounce back from this wizard. Don't worry about it. You'll be good. Whereas his brother is like, I'm taken over by this thing.
His
and
soul is bound to this evil force, and the only way to put it to peace.
Yeah. It's a slightly different thing of kill me before I kill again, and just kill me because I'm sick of it and I'm bored now.
Yeah, so that they could. It felt like here's an ending if we don't do any more.
Yes,
but we've got enough stuff, and there's a few dangling plot lines. Like Sugar is very interested in that girl who was reported dead, who was working for the Klondikes. That is, as far as I remember, he's not followed up on.
And I guess they could say is like, oh, that was just Burst disguised as a dead girl. I was like, why that specific dead girl? So it's like, well, it's a plot thread we can pick up, or one we could never fucking explain because
they've assigned a card to her on the website. So
they have. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, there's 11 cards not revealed in any of the anime or the comic or the books. So.
Which is the perfect amount to do a 12-episode series.
Yes. Or you can do another audio drama or another book or whatever.
This like It felt like a very middle part of something, though.
Yes.
Is this thing? So I would hope that there is something like of another series of this, like, or something comparatively lightweight, like a tie-in book or something like that, which not everybody's going to read or pay attention to.
I think one of the reasons it felt middling like that is because you have you not only have the like basically the resolution of the character. The character is set up to be properly within high card at this stage. Like that works, but you also have here's the backstory of how this whole fucking thing came to be, and also here's the ending to a series that you didn't see that's set before this, that kind of thing, with all the old men's stories kind of coming to an end, and a lot of them fucking dying. But yeah,
and while we got a bit more of Norman, we didn't really get much of Brandy and Grist.
Yeah.
Mr. King.
He escaped on a helicopter, it seems. I'm glad, but other than that, yeah, he didn't really do much.
Yeah, there's still plenty of characters to revisit. I think, trying to find that. Now can't find the page with all the suits on the website. So I think it's
standard
mostly
deck of cards, so you're probably good.
Yeah, so it's mostly the ones from whatever suit VJ's power comes from.
They're the clubs.
I think the green was the clubs. Yeah,
the Paramecia types.
Yes. Anyway, it's enjoyable enough series. I wish it looked a little bit better.
But sometimes there's a little flourish, but overall,
yes.
I think it's sort of like really like consistent. Like, there's like a base level that it kind of has. It tends to stick on.
Yeah,
and it's just been like again, consistently but gradually, like this improving just in its story and its characters a bit, because again getting some of that like extra detail filled in helped a bit, but it's just like I almost had this kind of despondence for us. I'm happy to see like it's paying off, like it is like building up just a little bit, just a little house of cards. I'm hoping we get like something like a real fucking ball buster of a fucking like third series to cap it off. This go full action set pieces out the wazoo. Let's go nuts with this.
Then next up on the list is Buchigiri, episode 9, Temptation, Super-Related Etceteras. And episode 10, Fallen Friend, This Love, This Pain, This Almond Tofu.
Something kind of the opposite trajectory, where it's just like, it seems to be slowing down the closer it gets to the finish.
Yes.
Slowing down and getting like less fun and wild, more like the boys are now shouting at each other, please stop fighting. Why are you fight? We only fight to prove which guy is stronger, not just to beat a guy into the fucking ground. That's not a good reason to fight.
Just very much. I'm worried about Madakara. I think he might be on drugs. It's like, no, we're bad boys. Like, we fight in the school, we're always skiving off, and we're fun smoking behind the restaurant, stuff like that. But we never do something like this. We get possessed by a genie and start beating people up for no reason.
And we also have the what's the guy called, the Emperor, like who's basically like I'm fucked
Shindo is just like, I'm gonna fucking put on a hood and be like, the creepy like weirdo who's like he's peered beyond the veil's reality and gone insane. It's like, oh come, I have a secret to tell you.
But he's also gone mad because he's not allowed back in his own idol club, because he'll get his ass kicked if he goes in. Fair enough. You did treat those guys really badly, so I'm not surprised they have it out for you now.
Yeah, they know to treat people like shit without you. Thank you very much. Starting fights in the arcade again. They know how to do that. That's fine. If we're gonna Arajin just like continuing to try and keep his distance from all of this, even meets up with like the two guys down the bathhouse and like they're saying, I'm worried about Madakara, and the Arjun tried and said, "We just leave him alone," and maybe he's just like coming out from what he would do rather than what Madakara would do. And said, "I'd want to, if I were him, I want to be kind of left alone." But the thing is, though, they as much as Madakara like has this like idea of him of what Arjun was my best friend, these two guys know him a lot better,
and they know him more recently as well. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think it's a good idea for him to be left alone, like, right now, like, this, whatever that's been going on, his brother getting stabbed and everything. Arjun, no, it's fine. It's just, please just leave him. He'll be okay. And it's just, I know she doesn't want to talk to him because, like, you came out and said, oh, yeah, I did leave you to get beaten. I beat the shit out of him when we were 8. Yeah, that was me.
Because episode 9 opens with confirming the thing we suspected previous episode, because Shindo tries to shoot himself in the head in order to get his magic powers back.
Yeah.
And there's no more little pellets.
No more like a lead shot in the flintlock rifle and pistol anymore. So each it's like, well, I got a bigger, muscular dude over here who's I can really like get into his head. It's like he's already scared of ghosts, so I'm going to scare the shit out of him. So the only way to rid yourself of the haunting is to beat people up.
Like, I assume that the dark shadow he's seen is looming in the corners and stuff is specifically that genie. It's just like, it's me. I'm the ghost you're scared of. I'm not going to protect you from that. I am that thing. But he doesn't want to get that away until he gets him to a certain power level where he can fully take him over. Is his plan, seemingly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's also his own self-doubt, because the reason he got huge is because he got the shit knocked out of him when he was 8. And he thought, I didn't want to like go through that again. I wanted to be someone who would, like, be able to take care of himself.
Yeah, honky man. Yeah.
Yeah, and we follow in his brother's footsteps, because his brother was the head of the blue gang at school. We get, and the only time, like, I guess, like, when Kenichiro took a vow of silence after that day, because he talks in the flashbacks, but he's like, only clicker free in the modern day.
So Shindo finds a secret in the shrine, which is, assume, the fact that he reveals later on to Arjun that that genie's trying to take over your body. You should tell your mate. We get a little bit of a flashback to the two genies past.
When they were boys, when they were immortal boys.
When they were boys in the Middle East. I'm not clear where this is taking place, because a lot of the signs are in Arabic anyway, so it's hard to know.
Ancient Iran or Persia.
Yeah.
But then once Shindo has told Arjun the secrets, then Senya hides for most of episode 10 because he doesn't want to answer the question like a coward, while Asakara goes around being an asshole
on a rampage.
Yes.
I love, like, all of, like, the rivalries or like that now. Like, it is like Madakara and the buzz cut dude with the snake fist in the other gang. It's like because the duos used to be evenly matched. In a fight that fair, that's been pretty rad, and it isn't ended in one punch like some of these other ones. But he just fucking goes for him in this one, and no mercy at all, and just absolutely wallops him.
This is after, I think, he tries to go for what's your green-haired fella?
Well, he gets to him, but it's like fun. Hey, we've got fucking to go through me first. I go through you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what I'm saying is he tries to bum rush him in the middle of town. That doesn't work out. The genie's like, back off for a minute and fucking like kick some fucking smaller guy's ass first.
Yeah, because he attacks your blue-haired guy's pink-haired boyfriend first.
Yeah.
Sets him off.
Yeah.
And then he's just like picking off various members of different gangs and just like beating them into the ground. And like initially, when his friends are they're happy to see him back in school. They immediately mitch off school and go down to the arcade, and he beats the fuck out of the guys from the other gang who were just showing up, and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's the big guy. We don't want any trouble." He's like, "You fucking bumped into me," and he just wails on him, and they're all just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
It's a contrast from before we saw that scene play out in like episode 1 or 2, and it's just this time it's just going to kill them.
Because the same guy shows up in episode 1, and from the other gang goes like, "Madakara, you're not like this. What's got into you, man?" And the guy who was like, "I think I might have fallen in love with this hot dude who kicked my ass earlier," because he was so polite about it, basically, and he's not being polite about it anymore. So yeah, and he's picking off a lot of members of the other gang, and that's causing trouble.
It's also seen to get ready to take down Kenichiro, because I guess he holds some manner of grudge for what happened to his brother now against him. Or he's just a target now for this his anger, this emotion.
You got to become stronger and stronger so you can never be hurt again. That's what he's stuck into. Yeah.
But yes, it's not until he makes his wish though that he becomes truly stronger.
It's not to get laid. That's not his wish.
Look, any powerful like motivation will do. It doesn't have to be a good one. It just has to be a powerful motivation.
But seeing it from with a different wish, I assume the fact now that the other guys fell in love with Arjun after he punched them was specifically because of his wish.
Yeah, as in you didn't specify who or what gender you wanted to lose your virginity to, so that's what your punches do now, buddy.
So all you gotta do is punch Mahoro and it should all be settled.
Yeah, no, not cool.
She's busy right now spying on her brother. And yes, she does have a blow-up doll with his face on it.
That was weird.
A little bit.
Well, she's now seen her brother lose, so maybe this will be the thing to get her over that complex.
Not the healthiest way to get over it, but yeah, sure, okay.
He does okay for a dude without any powers, but this dude's got powers. It's not really fair.
Yes, because he was winning up at that. Even when Etceteras started fighting dirty, he was still winning. It's only once the wish came into play that he lost. And then post-credits, we get the flashback of Etceteras' brother telling him, his buddy, keep an eye out for my brother because I'm going to go leave school, get a job, going to send my little brother to college.
It'd be awful shame if I went to prison. Call it for tax evasion. No, this got Gatsukana.
There's not what is funny in this 10th episode. The mum, I think that's about it, really.
Yeah, because even like our genie bugs off for most of it because he's too ashamed of the fucked up thing he's trying to do. He's trying to take over Arjun's body, and Arjun is a shit, but it's just like no one really deserves that. So yeah.
I see how this is a bit like the Arabian Nights now, in that it's a lot of stuff that happened and doesn't really go anywhere to put down time.
Yes.
I'm being distracted. Just like 1001 Nights, yeah.
Yes, you don't know the animators are just staving off being killed by taking their time making the animation. The teacher's plotline is episode 9.
That is progressing. Yeah, that's true.
He gets convinced to go back to Jasmine, and in episode 10, he wants to see Jasmine, but Jasmine's with other customers at the moment.
She's been booked out all day by this other customer. It's like, fucking what? I was prepared to take her away from this life of presumably being an actual cat in a cat cafe, but you know, whatever. I really hope it's something madder than that, because I feel like that's the joke, and it's such a long fucking lead up to it.
Yes, he gets married to the cat just to get her out of his life.
And he does get a bit outside of that context as well in episode 10 when everybody leaves to go and see the fight except Arjun. He tries to
he's happy that
Arjun
one student is staying behind. Is just like, oh, you really care about your education. Like, it's really nice to see one kid really cares about the future, and Arjun has been inspired by that. It's like, you're right, I should go help my friend. And he's like, no, my last student. Yeah, poor guy.
Then we got Sengoku Youko, episode 11 and 12. The strongest. Oh, we're taking a run up at this word.
Dangaisyuu. Dangaisyuu. Yeah.
They say it enough times that yeah.
Dangaisyuu. And Jinka and Douren, Takekichi and Barry.
Fucking love that Barry is in a title. So... it's great. Love it.
So just figuring out, like, you know, yeah, we're gonna, like, you know, gotta make our assault on the monk's fortress, you know, and they're waiting for us. Douren is like, you know, oh, they'll be here now, fucking, because fucking Jinka and the Dragon Man get sealed up in the mountains. That means they're gonna be on their way here. So I'll be fucking, I'm gonna do something for them. Yeah. I mostly can't remember when they get there, rather lead up to them getting there.
Yeah, it's just like a kind of like leading. It's like, okay, here's the plan. I got these summoning things. As soon as we get close enough, I'm going to summon the mountain god in, and we'll tag her in. It will take her a bit to get here because it's difficult to move an entire mountain all the way over here, but she'll get here in her own time. And she demonstrates this by summoning a crow, which I forget the crow's name, but it does hang around, and I appreciate it. Just like commenting and speedwagoning on the entire thing. Actually, Douren at one point goes like, "Very astute mountain crow," when the crow points out a thing about how he's using his powers, and I love the fact that I love that Tiger Man. Not only is he a boxing Tiger Man, but he's very polite to everyone, including the minor crow character that just appeared. Dear.
Well, they've been like able to, they had like could constitute like hundreds of crows into huge like tengus that could punch you. Pretty good. But anyways, also we've got like this like talismans for everyone of you, so we can kind of just like pull you out of there or teleport you out if things get kind of hairy.
Yeah.
Which they're about to. We could be getting new costumes, kind of, or most of Jinka does, because you'd lost the arm. You can have a kind of overcoat to kind of throw some of it off. Not that'll be a problem because you figure out how you can make like an arm out of spirit energy, and it works just as good. And also let's reach inside your brain and touch it.
Yeah, so I guess it's like having a phantom limb syndrome, but it's literally still a limb that is usable and you can hit people with. And he's like, I wonder if I can alter my brain chemistry by putting my spirit arm into my brain. All the goodies are like, dude, don't fucking do that. Like Douren, the god Tiger Man he's fighting, he's like, dude, fucking no, that's gross. Please stop doing that. Yeah, he's trying to unlock his. How many fucking tails has he got now? I think he's got like 7 tails.
He grows a couple because he had like he grew the metal tail. So then you get that means you got the 5 tassel elements, means you can do the spirit bomb.
The 5
he had
elements,
the lightning tail. He grows like a wind tail, tornado tail. You can kind of fly around on that now as well.
Oh, in the meantime, our guy Takekichi is kind of like keeping an eye out. It's like, I'm very suspicious, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you so antsy about, dude? Like, calm down." It's like he's waiting for Barry the Ninja to show up, and Barry the Ninja does show up, so he's to chase him into the secret tunnels underneath the fucking castle's grounds and that kind of shit. And Barry has upgraded his body.
He's got a big Sengoku fucking like wooden mecha suit.
Yeah, it's basically like all the siege weapons of a Sengoku period in a mech suit. And
I'm not sure they had spiritual laser cannons back then, but who to say they didn't?
I mean, the history is very spotty at the best at times. I don't think they had giant swords you could throw at people either. But
a sword but bigger, I love it. They just really go like fun using who's up fun real names, fun saying, "I'm gonna kill you, Takekichi. Bring it on, Barry."
Just shouting Barry in anger is very good. But also his sword really comes into his own. Whereas like, why the fuck did you punch him? You should have cut him. It's like, sorry, force of habit, sword. I'll get into the better thing. And his sword's like, I'm fucking enjoying this fight. If only we could fight in the sky. Laser blasts a hole through the ground into the sky, and the sword's like, right, time for a fucking Dragon Ball samurai
wild,
mech fight kind of thing. And the sword, like he's disappointed, Takekichi, in his sword, because it's like, wait. You basically like oh, I don't feel vengeance anymore. I just love being free. That's the entire fucking thing. I don't even give a fuck about killing people and drinking their blood as a sword anymore. I'm beyond all that shit. And he's like, my sword has figured shit out better than me, and my sword is a fake personality I attributed to my sword.
Yes.
In order to understand it. And it's just like, fucking hell, this sucks. My imaginary friend is doing better than me mentally. Yeah, that's a bad situation.
I fucking like, that was like a nice little fucking thing about it. So it's like, oh, you just kind of say, oh yeah, it's like magic sword, sure, shoots wind. Why wouldn't it be possessed by something like that? But fun saying, no, it's just he's just like trying to sublimate these emotions like into this, all of this rage and hatred he's feeling is fun saying, it's the sword saying telling me to do that. It's the sword telling me to do that. It was like, no, it's you. And like if one he defeats Barry, and I think that should be enough. You've avenged like Shakugan, right? With one saying, nah. Now I gotta get the bastards who did this kind of to be with one saying this is not going to end with him. Yeah, so
it's an endless cycle of violence that he's trapped himself in. But before that, we do get the end of Douren and Jinka. Their fight, which is like Douren has the ability to summon 100 fists at the same time, so he can punch you 100 times.
Fist. Yep. Those Yakuretsu can. Spirit Bomb is a bit too slow to go up against that. But again, because feel around in my brain for a little bit here, like
Yeah.
And now I can summon the wind and move faster. And they're going for each other like that, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a clash of wills, it's gonna be a cross counter." And then, like for a split second, these hooded figures just like come past the review, like phantoms, and there were gauntlets as well. And Douren is just going, "What the fuck was that?" And then it gets hit full face.
Like Jinka is also going, "What the fuck was that?" But for slightly less time than Douren. We're just like, okay, I'm gonna finish the punch, and that Spirit Bomb finishes off Douren, where he's like, "Okay, you got me good. I'm out of spiritual energy. I'm just gonna compliment you." And fucking collapse,
Fall
probably
over.
dead.
Well, not sure he's dead. He's just been defeated.
He got really fucked up. Not as fucked up as Barry got. Like Barry pops out of his mech suit covered in talismans, and it ends up like a punching match between him and Takekichi.
The talismans, see, I got another thing revealed about him. Like those were his own body, and it didn't have like the energy, the spiritual fortitude to like maintain them. His guts fall to pieces.
So the
really
impacts
messed up
of the punches of Takekichi are like when he falls down, like his like arms and legs and a bunch of his body just splat. It's just freaking mincemeat inside those things.
I'd say it's more to do. It probably takes a lot of juice to keep a fucking like robot suit in this time period like on the go.
Yeah. But like his body is just like nothing left, but basically, and it's kind of like he's just a bloody mess on the ground. And Takekichi's kind of like, they're like, "Hey, well done, you killed him." And it's like
technically, or
and
maybe he's gonna die anyway.
By his own hand, he killed him, and it's kind of like, this is the first life you've taken. How does that feel? And it's just like, time to take some more lives. And it's like, and even Jinka's looking at his sword. It's like, oh, your sword is alive now. That it came alive with the power of revenge, I think. So
yeah. In the background of all of this, Zazan and the fox slave, the fox woman, Tama's mother, to recover making this fun and said, "It'll be fine, fun.
Douren will take care of them."
And then it all goes wrong. And then I love there's often this vibe around the phone say, "Shit, baby, he's fucking on to us. The heat's coming down. We gotta get out of here."
And she's like, "You're not gonna stay and fight him." It's like, "No, I thought Douren would beat them."
I don't care about
and he's
you.
basically he's packing the suitcases to run as far away as possible immediately. And they're about to move their giant mountain and run away their castle and run away in the castle. But then the mountain shows up. She finally shows up and does give that castle a slap, knocking it on its ass. And it's like, okay, I guess we do have to fight now because the castle can't run away. It's been knocked over.
Also in the woods, a couple of miles away, is this the rest of the Dangaisyuu monk order is this
They've just seen lasers shoot up in the sky, and it's like, what's happening there?
It's all right, for Douren Sama, he'll take care of that. Oh yeah, it's probably his stomach growling. And then the head dude with the cross-shaped scarf and the gun hidden inside there. So it's like, you better keep the men, happy and quiet. The less they know, the better. Don't want to freak them out. Then a mountain appears, oh well, I guess I can't really hide that from them, can I?
Yeah. So he's basically like, this is the end of the Dangaisyuu as a.
We should get back to our roots
as an organization. We'll be wandering monks from now on. It's better this way. We'll survive this way. So we got this many monks left.
Yeah. Can't get a bit distracted with the whole, experimentation, with the human soul, making monsters thing again. We should just do what we do best. Oh, yeah.
Monsters. Yeah, just get back to
just to underscore that. Yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. Mountains appearing out of nowhere and kicking out over a castle.
So our main baddie has to fuse with his, I'm going to call it wife. He's kind of like, we have to fight your daughter. It's like, who's her dad? And she's like, whoa, a woman never tells. And he's like, all right, let's fuse and we'll just figure it out after that. So he's shown up with a bunch of foxtails, as is the way. And that's, I think, where our episode ends. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love this the them I guess this the heads dude organizing this and it's just he's got all figured out all the angles of that. It's just it's energy fun saying, shit baby, we gotta get out of here. No
just
baby, come on, I love you. I know you too, baby. That's how we get out of here.
Trying to run from the cops is like, I'm a researcher, not a fighter. Like that was my whole thing. I met guys who were strong. I'm not a strong guy. Look at me, I'm old.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it's air that they're necessarily super evil, It's like they're not maniacal, we're gonna take over the world with monsters. We're so fucking bad. So it's like, oh no, shit.
It's surprisingly real for how wild this fucking show is. Yeah.
And every picture of them is just, he's almost there. It's like, and he's just going around because it's like, even their visualizations
like he's got it all
of them,
together.
like, you know, the kids is just like, you know, oh yeah, he's probably fun like that right now. Or, yeah, this is like, we'll get into the end, but presumably it's like the first like section of it anyway, because this does like go on into like further kind of perspectives and things as it goes on. It's down for like two or three, I think, like runs altogether.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's good. I just last little things come together. A lot of those kind of character things are starting to kind of culminate now and kind of like crystallize a little bit. Also, there's kind of again like, you know, through all of this, all this kind of meaningless violence when you get down to it, because they both come to this like yeah, like Katawaras and humans, you know, just the exact same. That it's the vessel that's different. You know, some of them are kind of a corporeal thing, some of them are some kind of fucking ghost things, but like they're just the same.
The soul is still the soul, basically. Yeah.
And that can go good or bad. It's not necessarily like, you know, tied to one or the other. Yeah.
Then we've got Metallic Rouge, episode 11, Target Planet. And Metallic Rouge, episode 12, Mask Graveyard. And I finally figured out what this show reminds me of, particularly these two episodes, when it suddenly, in theory, the villains, so to speak, are progressing with their plots. But our heroes are hidden,
matter.
But it keeps on getting messed up with personal relationships. Keep getting away. It reminds me of how a Midsummer Murders episode plays out. Particularly once revelations like this character's dad. How's that work? We don't know yet. We may never know. I was like, I love this character, but I know she's doing a terrible plan. But because I love her, I'm going to stick up for her plan. But once you've defeated me, I want you to go stop her because it's a terrible plan.
Now that I can't prop her up, please take her down. That's yeah.
And I think it works well because it's much better at doing this stuff than the big sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, it's big sci-fi twist, man. The freaking detective is like doesn't even figure it out through detective work. He happens to see the guy take off his mask. He's like, I know who you are, and he keeps telling people off screen. And then when he reveals it, it's revealed. And I was like, yeah, we all figured that was the case.
We even know
so,
it's you know, I even like went back just to make sure they won't go through some pile of flim flam. You know, I checked out the family like videos from that episode a little while back and said, yeah, that's the same voice. It's same as Dr. Walpole and saying, surprise, it's me all along. You've all been kind of doing cool fights and pairing off with each other. But it was me all along. Maybe a more like, you know, another kind of a good moment but that between the characters is like Sylvia is fighting Rouge. They're all armored up and going for it. And Sylvia gets a drop on Rouge and snatches out her id right from her chest like that. And that's the last one we need. You're the one that you're like the fucking like
the decoder,
the decoder from that gets a code eval. So nothing just happened without you. And now we can do it. And Naomi is just like, I'm out of here. But she's going quick. Okay, plan B, blow up the whole base. Plan B, blow up the whole base. I'm the first, you know, the first in the end. I've been alive for hundreds of years, you know, from like I got this, you know, from plan B. Shit, I got back in fun check on her. She's fun, like left her crawling out the door, like, you know, pathetically like that. And she's just like, that little dumbass, I can't help but fucking want to help her.
Because she's learned the true meaning of friendship, which is taking out the essential core of yourself and letting someone borrow it. Just borrow it, okay? Not for keeps.
She said, which also seen with Eden that like he had his like torn out, but he kept it together
for pretty long,
for a couple of days anyway. So just a couple of like hours are gonna need just to finish off this and punch out whoever's responsible for all of this. Yeah, that whole thing as well with the puppet master / the Dr. Roy. He seemed to have some kind of control over set, but I suppose he's the one who created her most recently, and she's put his creepy like puppeteer mask on her face. She's just walking around with that, and it's probably going to be like one big fight at the end. Sort of all this mess out. Like there is some like those nice like interpersonal kind of character things. You know, there's smaller little moments in this, but it's just it took so long to get to them. Like I thought having this like this like seemingly like a immortal family of robots, and they got to fun like these kind of like how to say pretend that these relationships they just kind of like how they are to each other, like like I'm the eldest sister, you're the youngest brother, like we've been created like in sequence after each other, but we kind of have this like weird family dynamic.
And that would nearly work with the highfalutin talking of the puppeteer, where he's just like, that it's a play by puppets with their strings cut, but there's no script, and etc. etc. It would like they're playing the roles of family, the roles assigned to them. Like your man Graphite or whatever his name is, like fighting up to the point where he's defeated, and then it's like, yeah, go beat her because I think her plan is dumb, but I'm going with her because I'm in love with her, And I was just like, again, they're doing the things that they think they need to do. Like it nearly works, but it's not quite there. Yeah.
See, it works for me. The problem I had was earlier in the series when it was trying to be a metaphor.
Yeah, but them keeping that obfuscated is done a disservice. Like if we had longer time to establish these familial and friendship and whatever bonds, like I think that would have worked better for it. That's what I'm saying.
I remember I did Neil Liberation when we spent 2 episodes on like all that time back. That was just dropped like faster than a hot snot. Like
it's the most of its use is basically it informs you why Silva is as gung ho about this as it is. It's just to inform her character, not the hundreds and thousands of people who are living and dying on Venus every day.
Sure, but that was like more about fucking like Verd, the green one, and how like extremism money goes one way, like and,
yeah.
There was like definitely like I think a clearer way to go about this. Like it's almost like they were fucking like too afraid at one time. If you don't like we're making like this a 25th anniversary thing, or make like kind of throwback feeling looking sort of thing about like robots, about artificial intelligence, about things like that. But if we don't do something like we're different to it, and no one's going to kind of like it or respect it, and if you guys say something kind of profound with it, but profound, I think, got muddled up along the way of something. Profound means to be kind of big. So what became about again, my initial worry was saving Mars. No, we gotta save probably the solar system at least apparently right now. But where it's actually like happening, where it's coming alive, is in smaller things with like these one-on-ones. I'm a robot programmed to feel this way, or I'm a robot programmed to kind of to emote or grow up this way, and now we're kind of both kind of like they're like a whole person kind of shadowed up into different kind of like personalities, different
like
facets of the human mind.
I think the relationship between Rouge and Eve kind of works quite well. And that's one of the reasons why the animators kind of go whole hog. Anytime it's just a scene between those two, it's like, oh, the animation's improved. Also because they're animating pretty young women, but also because like they're trying to get the emotions across in the physical acting and the animation. And I think it works quite well between those two. But we haven't established a lot of the stuff with the other characters in the same way, so it falls a little flat for me anyway.
Yeah, see, I'm fine with as little as they've done. I just wish they hadn't tried to make an allegory out of the Neens. That's where it fell apart, partly because we just watched Pluto. That's a big part of it.
That's not helping. No.
And even then, that's just been forgotten about now as well. It's
it's
like you spend so much time on it.
Yeah. Sylvia does mention it. She explains like the life expectancy of a Neen on Venus. But yes, we know as the viewers, and also characters know, that clearly it's the usurpers pulling a fast one.
Doing all the things. Sylvia. And Sylvia's just that way because, again, you're just like kind of one kind of facet of like a complete mind of or a thing. Like, no, that's where you all got to come back together and try and break free of it. You're just sort of like, again, programmed in your own way to kind of go all in on this.
Again, to use the Puppet Masters thing, like playing the part without a script kind of thing. She's the absolute revolutionary. It'll all go perfectly well as long as I take out all humans.
When it's being trash, it's good. It was the fact that he briefly had aspirations beyond being trash. Was
like reaching beyond its grasp. I thought it worked out well with the what's the yellow guy? I always forget everyone's fucking name, but
Yellow.
Was he just yellow?
Hell Jalion, yes.
Jalion. Like, I thought he came across pretty well in these, where like initially he shows up, it's like, Rouge, it's I, your brother, and they're like, that's him in disguise, isn't it? It's like, for fuck's sake, dude. And he's just like, all right, I'll take you to Silva. It's like, I wasn't gonna take you to Silva, I'm gonna take you to your doom. And Silva like kills him, and he's just like, so unexpected. And he's like, he still helps out
Naomi
Eve.
later on.
What would be the most mischievous thing to do? It's like, hoo, 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 and a precocious little brother of the family. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Yes.
He feels like a fully formed character, and it's like, this guy, he's just here to start shit, no matter for what fucking side, as long as it's funny to him, basically, he'll do it. Yeah.
Yes, I think there's the key bit which isn't spoken, because they're all speaking of Eva as their mother, except Eden seems to have a relationship with her where either she gave birth to a half Nean, half human in the form of Jean, or they adopted him.
Well, he's got 2 different colored eyes.
Yes.
And just like, identity thing. You see, humans and Neans can live together. We can just like synthesize our consciousness, man. He's a symbol of our coexistence.
Yeah. And I like while it's bleeding obvious who's behind the mask by the point it happens, I do like the physical reveal of it, of like the entire costume coming down.
Falls down around the mask. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a frozen Dwayne again.
Well, I popped out there for a sec.
He's wearing a mask of pure indifference.
Seriousness. He's going to be taking Delicious Dungeon very seriously.
I like the reveal that you thought the gun guy wouldn't be carrying a laser knife, did you? But he was.
Yeah, I think I'll have fond memories of it by the end. Like I said, partly because of how it's thrown away its pretentiousness, in lieu of having people throw explosive playing cards around instead.
Yeah, there's just a few spots of it. Like, we did see a dog get punched in the face halfway through. So exactly. Like things like that, and some of those episodes can work decently in of themselves. It's going to come out like a very uneven mix, and I think it'll be seen as a little bit like, there was a lot of potential in this, and it didn't really meet up with it.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it was bad by any fucking stretch. It's just that you can see where it could have been improved, that kind of way.
It just needs to be sillier on couple of the episodes.
Have a little more fun.
Silly.
Like, try not to get bogged down in the what does it mean to be an AI and freedom? It's slavery. You're talking about slavery is bad. That's the metaphor. We're done. Let's move on to robot fights and girls being silly. That's
you can still discuss like fucking robot characters, like, if you want. I think it would have been interesting. Like, you have these 9 immortal like robots, and just like they have this weird family dynamic, and there's like, I guess, like Stan users are all on a solar system or on a planet or something. They're getting drawn together by some inexplicable thing, and they're running into each other. And then over the course of that, you can have discussions about, what does it mean to be a robot in a human's world, etc., etc. Because like aliens are in the mix from the beginning, so it's just like, okay, well, you've already. It'll be fun, like, doing some wild places with this.
Yeah, we do see the usurpers in this episode, and they kind of look like the armored forms of the Immortal
9. Yeah, they resemble that more so than the jellyfish-looking. What were the good aliens called again? Can't remember the. Yeah, whatever they're called. The guys.
Yeah,
those guys.
The ones that put on the little lip mask.
The little human
visitors.
Mouth to talk. Visitors, yeah.
Visitors.
That's what
For visitors, they're sticking around for a long time with it.
Well, they stay on the couch for 1 weekend, and then.
And now they want to move into Venus? Come on.
That's why I keep all my shoes in there.
Then we got Witch and the Beast, episode 10, Origin Witch, and episode 11, Eloquence and Silence, opening act. In episode 10, the witch who's the cause of the problems shows up. And boy, is she a rotter.
It looks like they're going to have the day off, but that's when they get you. That's when the witch sneaks up on you. So watch out.
Oh, we shouldn't have magically hobbled her while we were out, so she wouldn't get into trouble, because she got into trouble immediately.
So he goes into the like he brings the I've forgotten her name, the Helga, the witch from the prior thing. Is like, yeah, I'm just gonna bring you into the institute. I'm going into this magical corridor that we can't bring her in because she hasn't agreed to not fucking wreck shit and reveal all our secrets. But you've agreed to that. You're magically bound by it, so that's cool. I'll just stay here with the custodian and stuff. It's like there's something happening outside, and it's because she has overheard some children talking about a witch.
Yes.
It's like,
I heard a witch lives there.
Oh, she's gonna get it.
No,
Bring
that's
me
when
to
a
the
witch
witch. I'll
puts
kick her ass.
the heads of zombies in the other zombies, make them into super zombies. You know, it's just a kindly woman who just happens to have spooky eyes. She's really quite nice.
And the cauldron. The problem is she's an old lady with a cauldron.
She is an old lady with a cauldron, but like that also means not so much alchemist, but herbalist. Like she's just making tea and shit. Like don't worry about it. It's grand. But she looks creepy, which did catch a bunch of witches historically, I guess. Not witches historically.
Yeah. And then Asha was worried again. But execution was working in pairs. Where's the other fucking one gone to? Obviously, he's right here under the invisibility cloak.
That was his little artifact that he had.
Yeah, we get the feeling though that the other one had gone rogue.
Yeah, like because the guy was really panicking that his fucking partner had left him, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
But enough of that shit. You know, that nerdy girl who was, you know, with the gaggle of kids who were like discussing this earlier on. That was the origin witch, Angela all along. She says, "Oh, it's me." This other glasses and this undo the hair. It's like, haha, perfect disguise.
He's fabulous all of a sudden.
I copied your cloak, so because he also like freezes time as well, or something along those lines.
It's the guy, the executioner has frozen time, and she's like, "Yeah, I copied your shit, so that my cloak, which is a copy of your cloak, means I can also move around in this thing." And he's like, "The fuck? That's bullshit. that's my thing, though."
And he released Guido enough so that he could talk to her, but then she just starts moving anyway because she's so determined once this witch shows up. And essentially, origin witches shouldn't be alive still because witches only live 200 years. So she appears to have some sort of body swapping magic.
She keeps hopping into the next body, and that's keeping her alive, presumably. Yeah. Which is what has happened to our main character, basically, as you can kind of tell.
Yeah. Some creepy. It's like, you know, hey, you want to kiss me? I know that trick. You know, you can't be doing that. Yeah, about how about I start getting hot and heavy with you? It's from like put my tongue in your ear and this like other weird creepy things that I have you at my mercy.
That witch mark, that curse tattoo on your neck, all like it looks like a rose. Basically, it's a cool tattoo, but obviously bad because it's a curse.
And when Ashaf and Helga finally arrive, they discover that Angela has left them a clue in the form of the head and torso of the other executioner with, is it B4 written on its chest in blood?
I think it's a 4, like, you know, or I don't know if they have some other kind of language that they work on, but I suppose it's B4. So like B in some kind of ruin, like the ones that they're right for their spells.
And then Ashaf and Guido have an argument.
Hey! Whatever I do, I wasn't intending to, like, you know, trip you up if you've been in the middle of a fight. I'm on your side, actually. You know,
I also
care
want
about
to
you
get
a great
this
deal.
motherfucking witch. And he has to explain this to her after she's broken some of his fucking ribs.
Yeah. So it's okay. I know you're mad. I can tell you're mad. Oh. Yeah. It just reminds me of when we first met 3 years ago. I was just a wandering mage, was like hopping right into rails from town to town.
I like the way he basically like talks her down and then immediately like slumps to the ground, like casting heal on himself, going like, "Fucking hell, that's really sore." But now let's reminisce in the next episode where the origin of the actual fucking show and their involvement with the origin witch.
Yeah, and I like him to point out, it's like, I can't make you argue with your heart, how your heart feels. I can't do anything about that, but please use your head and understand why I do the things I'm doing, and that it's not against you. It's in our both.
I am working together with you. I thought it would be better to not heal you. I was in fucking correct. I will admit fault in this regard. Yeah.
It does get through to her, as much as her fist embedded in his ribcage. She's just kind of
shit. Yeah.
And then, yes, we get the flashback opening act of episode 11, where we do not appear to be getting an explanation of what Guido's deal is, but we'll at least learn how the pair of them met.
Well, it's well done. She was the one carrying the coffin around that time, and it's just like it just seems to be a thing. Like like later on in the episode when they're like leaving the house of like the young girl who they're like interested in this time. I guess she just offered to carry it for, her, and it's just like, well, that's just how it started. Now I gotta carry it all the time.
It's done nicely because he's coming in on the train to podunk nowhere, which wouldn't have witches or anything, but there's been some reports. So as a magical bureau, we gotta fucking check it out. And you see some kids like,
people in the
"Mommy,
town.
there was a coffin in the luggage," and he's like, "Yes, sure there was, dear." And you figure it's like, oh, he's going to pick up the coffin, but it's like, no, he doesn't have the coffin. Some random blonde girl or other main character has the coffin. Like I like the way it kind of goes. Like, no, we're not at the start of the show yet. Now we see we're before that kind of way.
Yeah, there have been cattle getting diced up and raining from the sky, and like,
It's obviously the work of a witch.
Awful witch. No, that girl, is making fucking tea for the mayor. He's obviously that's a witch is doing. He says, "God, no, it's not."
She's related to a witch, but she's not a witch. That's important.
Yeah, Asher comes out and saying, "Gentlemen, please, don't you have some wives you need to go home to?" Says, yes, we do. You should buy some flowers. Yes, flowers. Every once in a while is fine.
So I mean, like it's mind control, but their wives will be happy.
That's not so ethical now. No, don't. No, do. I'm a grown-up witch. No fun. That wasn't quite right, but you don't do it too. Okay.
Yeah, she's been defended by her brother and this other little kid.
Yes. He's what's his one? Craig.
Yeah.
Craig and Owen and
Yes.
Falvel is the girl.
Yeah.
Who's got mascots at making tea at her medicinal paste, but she can't speak. It's like,
yes.
She's
from a cursed line of witches, so
she has access to the herbalism, but you can't, like, while you can write down runes, technically you need to be able to say spells to cast spells, and like witches do, so you can't talk, so you only have access to the herbalism stuff. So that's grand. There's no actual harm in that.
But Asha deduces that's a weird coincidence, if I have like this like lion's share of your magical potential is locked up generation after generation. That's like a curse to me.
It does little sound like that.
Yeah. And she did react when she saw Guido's curse mark on her neck just prior to her attacking Ashaf when they first meet. She said, "Hey, there's a witch around here. I'm gonna punch it."
She immediately tries to punch a small child, and he erects a magical barrier. She busts through it. It's like,
but
magical barrier.
Something swats her away.
A giant monster that, because a superpowered girl has been trying to blast a small girl with her very powerful punches and magical barriers and all kinds of shit's happening. It's gathered a little bit of a crowd, so they saw a giant monster swat away some fucking girl like through a wall and into the river. It's kind of like,
yeah,
that's now they're like definitely a witch. You saw her.
Yeah, well, I see from a window too across the river. Someone was watching it with a cup of tea. And saying, "Oh, suspicious! Got a little kind of ponytail there." And then Craig goes home to his dad and saying, "Oh, he's dead. He's dead. The wrong one. He's obviously up to something right here." And then I thought, no, Craig's up to something as well, because in a split second, at the counter river, we saw this kind of do something out of his jacket, make a little movement, and then something appeared and swatted like Guido away.
Yeah. I did like that later when the mayor's house is squashed, and the mayor is squashed by the same giant monster thing. It's like, obviously this is the work of the witch. Don't worry, a witch hunter has come into town and we can take care of it. And
it's Craig on the phone saying, "Oh, Mr. Ashab, it's awful. Like a monster came and attacked the mayor's house, and it gets worse. It's an executioner. He's getting a mob. They're going to go to the farmer's house." And saying, "I see. That's pretty bad," says Ashap, and pulls out a pistol and just fucking plugs the child.
In front of the crowd at the mayor's house. It's just like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, "How did you know?" It's like, because,
creatures work in pairs. Kid, I had your number from day one, as soon as I saw you. It's one of those scenes I loved, and Sengoku Youko did it as well. Like in a realm of magic and monsters and sorcery, guns that exist, you just like pull those out, whatever.
Surprise guns. See, that's the thing. Is like you'd expect this mage to like weave a spell, but what if he just pulls a fucking Glock on you? It's like, whoa, fucking didn't see that coming. You can't rely on gun. It needs to be a surprise gun.
It's because he's touching his throat when he uses his magic abilities, so he sees him out the corner of his eye doing it a second time as they're heading off, and that's the point. He turns around and blasts him.
He's got Shadow Monster bone powers that can stop bullets.
He just
and a bunch
needed
of other
confirmation, basically, to blow this child to Kingdom Come.
things.
He blocks most of the bullets with that bone monster, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
How are they
so
going to
it
get out of
goes-
this one? Well, they will get out of this one. We know they will. But
We know they do, but
Will the witch get out of this one? Is well the
that's the key. Is this a different little girl that she's put herself into in the intervening years? Yeah, yeah.
Then we've got Delicious in Dungeon, episode 12, Red Dragon 2, and episode 13, Red Dragon 3, and Good Medicine, in which Fallon is brought back to life, but unfortunately they bring something else back with her.
sometimes dead is better.
Yeah.
Um,
But we do get the kind of reprieve of all the characters being able to like interact with her, and like it's like, hey, this is Senji. He's been a real help. Don't try talking just yet, Fallon. Just ease yourself into it, that kind of way.
Okay, you essentially like make up some decent food. He's got so much to work with here, isn't it? Where to start? Say, where is he right now? Oh, he says he's gonna like make some pizza outside there by the dragon. He's going to make pizza in the dragon. It's like he ignites the gas sack and this stuff. Oh fuck! How can we use this? Well, that's we get an idea for the pizza. Oh, we can use dragon ignite gas bladder as a pizza oven now. Oh yeah, cool.
The dragon scales have been heated up, so you can cook on them now, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. The key thing, though, in bringing Fallon back is that Marcel used forbidden magic.
Dark magic.
What could possibly go wrong? And also, we learned that in order to cast resurrection spells, and there's not the entire body left, you have to provide enough protein to make up the rest of the body.
Yeah, like so basically, well, the caster needs mana to cast the spell. Like if and we've seen this in the healing magic essentially with in the prior episode where she's reattaching like Laos's leg, like it sucks the blood off of her hands back into his wound because it's his blood. So it does take meat to stitch meat back together, and Fallon is just bones, so we need to stitch some meat onto these bones.
She's not just her bones though; she's also two wargs' bones as well.
Well, they've separated out most of the warg bones.
Yes.
That's fine.
They sort that out because of Laos's knowledge of dog anatomy.
He had a lot of dogs growing up, so that's pretty. And again, I think it does a really good job of like having the kind of serious stuff where it's initially like, Jesus, all these fucking bones, we need to sort out the dog bones, and he's like, it's like a puzzle. Ooh, he's getting distracted by the game of it, the monster. The monster lover in him is getting distracted by it, but
and it's very fun when we get Fallon then and we see, oh, she's a lot like her brother, and
they're very similar.
Of how similar they're going to be once she learned that they were eating monsters.
Senshi presents them a feast of like grilled dragon meat,
dragon pizza.
It looks great. It's a great spread.
I think the other key line with the resurrecting is they're worried that the wargs are going to come back to life, and and Marcel says, "Oh no, it's only human souls who are bound to the dungeon." I was like, by the end of episode 13, we realized that's not quite true.
I think it depends on what the lunatic magician says so goes in here.
Yeah. It is definitely human souls because that benefits the lunatic magician, but it's not necessarily just that. But yeah, like I like the idea that Phelan is kind of like, this is an amazing spread. This looks fucking great, and Marcel's like, god damn it, this is what I didn't want to happen. But it's a good feed, and she'll get to touch her up in the bath later to check for scars, like as a professional, as a medical
they'll
professional.
have to share a bed.
For warmth. Come on, there was only 4 beds, so I mean, like that's 2 girls to 1 bed, and each boy gets their own bed. Like that.
Does this remind you of being back in boarding school? All the fun we had going to class and practicing kissing.
I love how gay it is without being explicit. It's great. Yeah.
And there's also like a very specific elf human thing going on about when she says, "You'll always be my little girl," and I think that's supposed to mirror then the lunatic magician and his love of the king that he's trying to find.
Yeah. I mean, like it's basically that. Well, obviously it can be romantic or sexual or whatever kind of love. It's slightly different when you live a long ass fucking time to something that doesn't live a long ass time. Yeah.
Yes, because you definitely get a much more clear idea in these 2 episodes once the lunatic magician shows up and his motivations.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, he's definitely a lunatic. He has been driven mad by loss.
He's focused on one thing, and that thing is blinding him to everything else. Yeah.
And that's the mirror of Leos and Marcel, and then of Chilchuk's reaction in episode 13.
Yeah. It's so well done, like that. These things are next to each other to compare off of. Like one of the things I really love is that obviously they all get to talk to Phelan and interact with her and that kind of stuff. But like you actually see like Leos break down at one point, whereas like it's one of the, because he's been very singularly focused on monsters. It's like it's probably some sort of undiagnosed autism. But when he gets Phelan alone, he's like, do not fucking do that shit again. Like, we thought we fucking lost you, and he's nearly breaking down. And it's like one of the more emotional reactions you kind of get from him, because doing stuff like sorting out warg bones is like, that's a good distraction. Like focusing on my monster loving is a really good distraction for the trauma I've been under.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
You got to employ necromancy, but it means you're saying there's a chance. You know, you're just gonna focus on that. Well, yeah, it's grand. It'll be grand. And then like had to fight a dragon, had to indulge in the dark arts, had to fucking
it's a fact there's been a slight moment of.
I don't want to go through all of that again. Yeah.
Yeah. The slight moment of reprieve and the slight thing of being able to talk to your sister is just like, it's the pressure is left. The constant go. It's just like you got a moment, and the kind of emotions come kind of well out. It's very well done. Yeah. To show where his focus was, and his focus was saving his sister, but the distraction was monster, which is a thing that is a hobby more so for him. Yeah.
Well, she's still got a job to do. She's still stuck in her contract. Because presumably by using the dragon as material to bring her back again. That was the magician's dragon. It still has like the programming, it still has the fucking whatever like that. So she is in basically his thrall now, and
she's summoned out of her and Marcel's bed, and lunatic magician's like, hey dragon, where the fuck have you been? What the fuck are you doing looking like that? Get your shit together. Come on, we got shit to do. Because she's she's mostly made of dragon meat at this stage. I mean, like reconstituted dragon meat into a human, but still, a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
So now Heroes try to bring her back and get attacked by little dragons made out of the dragon's blood.
The fucking it's like we got the one the one Darks to bring it out, and then Senchi early on. We had made some nice cured towns out of that fresh dragon meat. This lasts us for a while. I get the label and all, and then they start rolling out of the house, and then the hovering label as they're rolling out. You just
as they get absorbed into the blood to be turned into tiny drakes. The label also goes into the blood. I was like, that's a nice visual. Yeah.
It's just here we go. It's like no.
The meat, no.
It's a very Bob's Burgers moment, but he uses his prime cut of burger meat. It's like, no, it just can't be happening.
And this is where we learned that the purpose of the dungeon appears to be to find Lord Delgal, who we saw when we went into the magic paintings. With Leos in the
we saw his backstory already. We saw most of the backstory except for the bit leading up to after that and dungeon now. Basically, we're missing that.
Yeah, and it seems to be it's just been transmogrified into this because some action of it keeps the soul bound to here. So until you can maybe figure out some way to bring it back to the life for real, is because it's like kind of this thing this is this dungeon's got a refreshment mechanic. That's a very kind of role playing game sort of thing to have. But saying no, it's actually an unholy curse. It's kind of fun. You can bring it back to life. But it's like a curse of everlasting. Or death never arrives to you. It's
basically like a cursed. The kingdom was cursed, put underground for safekeeping, and in this constant cycle and recycle that of a ecosystem of a dungeon to maintain it and also to repel outsiders. But outsiders like a whole kingdom for pillaging, and no one lives there except for monsters. fucking fine. We can go pillage that all we want, which the lunatic magician is pretty pissed off about, to be honest. Yeah.
So while Marcel takes care of the little blood dragons,
that's such a cool sequence. It's like, I don't know how to do this ancient magic, but I can cast cancel on each one of them and just keep swiping away with her wand. Yeah, fucking baseball batting them out of fucking existence, which they're made of blood, so it's pretty satisfying. Yeah.
So he opens the floor up and drops them into a Star Wars trash compactor type trap.
Done and done. Fucking easy peasy.
Where they are saved by ghosts.
Yes. The ghosts they go like, hey, secret passage this way. Let me just pull you through it. And even Senshi kind of going like, we don't know where it leads. And Chilichuk going like, it doesn't
better
fucking
than getting
matter.
crushed. Let's go.
There appears to be like
been
2 classes of ghosts
at this
as
stage
well. Because there's like the high class royal ghosts that the magician is reassuring that they'll find Delgal, and then there's these common ghosts who are helping out our heroes here.
Yeah. Common cause, man.
Yes, I suspect possibly they want this to end and to pass on peacefully.
Yeah.
And helping adventurers is probably the best way of doing that. Which then leads them to the rest of the orcs.
Once again, this like, we all seem to meet orcs in the most awful circumstances where we got caught like robbing their stuff or fucking breaking into their shit. It's just like fun. What the fuck are you you broke everything. You ate all the food. It's like, we're sorry. We know your brother. Oh, that's fine. Oh, okay. You know your brother. All right, that's fine.
It's the vegetable seller. They sniff him to recognize.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you smell different because he had one bath. I'm trying to remember what fucked up Leos again. Like something like just took him.
I think he got clonked in the head.
Everybody landed on him.
Yeah, he took a really hard knock. All right, yeah.
It's okay. We got orc medicine here, and there's only one way to administer it. But
medicine.
no, he's unconscious, so I gotta do it this way. I won't feel like a baby bird. It's just like, and Marcio says like, it's okay, I'm awake. You just spoon into me. You don't need to do it that way. Yes, no, we gotta do it this way. It works better.
And any other show would present it as a very sexy orc and a very sexy way of fucking doing it. But I mean, like, not that I have anything against the way she looks.
I think they did present it as a sexy orc, and
I mean, like, as sexy as you can be when her boob tube is like made of an antler of something. That kind of way. Yeah.
If only Elias was conscious for this, he'd have. There's actually a fucking great thing. What's in the episode at all? Where I was just like, when they first met them before, they having like the shared meal and saying, oh, like, you got a very beautiful wife there.
I think that was one of the side things in the manga.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure got in, but they got a very beautiful wife there upon saying, oh, yes, well, thank you for saying, yeah, because she's in fine health, she's got, nice prominent snout, her
good
skin
child hair and hips,
skin's like, very soft, and
it's just
powerful. And her tusks are very clean, will take care of him very well. He's like, fun dude. That's my wife we're talking about. Shut the fuck up. So he's, Liza has thought about this. He's thought about this for a little while.
Given a chance, Leos is absolutely a monster fucker. Just give him an opportunity, and he will probably go for it. But yeah.
But like, Leos is kind of the leader. Marcel is also kind of motivated by your things. You'll kind of be another sort of like voice of direction for it. Senshi is just sort of like, I'm along for the ride to help you out, which means. Of course, of action now with the other two incapacitated means Chilchuk has got to decide what this party is going to do. Fun saying, like, lads,
Chilchuk, who's here for the money, entirely pragmatic. He's just like, well, shit's fucked. Time to leave.
Yes. And so Zon's sister is like, oh, this coward. And then said she's like, no, he's not a coward.
He's a good guy down
find
thing.
His
like,
stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have like this long conversation while they're collecting the stuff where she points out
it's so
what it is. It's you don't want to see your friends die.
Yeah, because basically she's initially like, this little fucking punk, he's only here for the fucking money, he's a piece of shit. Like, but she's curious as to how they got so far down here. How did you beat the dragon? So he tells her the whole story, and she's really interested. And so as she's learning about it, she's kind of like, yeah, you just don't want your friends to die. Just tell them you don't want them to die, and they'll leave the dungeon with you. You don't need to make up lies or anything. You just be honest with your feelings, Chilchuk. Come on. Because she's actually like, she respects it as like, oh, you guys distracted the dragon while he took him out. It's like, okay, maybe you're not a fucking coward. The more she learns, like, she's actually willing to listen. And as an outside perspective, she's like able to voice what Chilchuk can't. Basically, it's like you care about your friends and you don't want them to die. That's it. It's very simple, dude.
Yeah. So then he makes the impassioned speech to Leos because Leos wakes up and he's like, "I'm gonna go get my sister. I'm gonna go get my sister." And he makes the impassioned speech, and then Senshi adds on, "Also, I've run out of herbs and spices, so we've got to go back for more
Well,
supplies."
fuck. Well, now we have to go back. Okay. Sorry, Fallon. On the soy sauce.
But now that we know that we're here, like it'll be quicker getting back the next time, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Yes. Yeah. So the orcs are going to give them assistance to get back to the surface. So they also he points out, well, we've seen the lunatic magician now. We can report that. We can probably get help from the government.
The Lord of the
top.
yeah.
That's also the danger now, is that now the magician is you've got his attention. That means he's going to be after you.
Yeah.
You are a high risk party right now.
He's very aware of your presence, you specifically. It's like that's bad. But if you report it to the Lord of the Island, he can probably go like, yeah, you know where this cunt is. Yeah, we can send a SWAT team after him or something. Maybe we'll get funding for this expedition. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
And Leos is convinced.
Yeah, it's the logical thing to do, and it's the best thing they can do right now, rather than go further in. Basically,
yeah. It's like a big moment of triumph. We've beat the dragon, got Fallon back, and it's just cut the legs off him completely. Like almost like complete party wipe. We kind of fucking regroup all over again.
So you managed to take out the boss that killed you last time. You worked your way all the way back to that fucking save point. But basically, it's just like, yeah, but there's a bigger boss after that. It's like, oh yeah, lunatic magician. Yeah. Okay, we need to prepare for that.
And the next week we've got Cabru's party taking center stage.
What's Cabru's party?
What are they up to?
Are they going to get killed again? Let's find out.
Clearly they have better funding because they managed to get rezzed enough times. So yeah.
Yeah, apparently the synopsis does seem that it will open with them being raised from the dead.
Yeah,
it's fun to see the contrast and like people who are trying to do different things in the dungeon and like how they do it differently, more successfully, less successfully in other ways, like dying more for one. Yeah,
because I think like they stumble again like just after where the gang has been through, so it's like you're seeing like, oh yeah,
the parallel plots.
You're seeing kind of the after effects of what just like transpired to stay where they were and how you might get killed by it again.
Talking of getting killed and coming back to life, it's Bang Bravern, episode 11, commence Operation Bonfire, and Bang Bravern, episode 12, Beyond Brave Bang.
I thought we were done watching this in dungeon. We got all this like the glory of like eating food and grilling stuff on the bonfire and eating it. It's like Superbia is above such things. Oh, nobody's above such things. We're going to make sure before you go to this final battle, you sample every mortal pleasure this planet has to offer.
I was tempted to change my background theme of like food to the Bravern version, where it's just like, because it's a decent spread of seafood, basically. Yeah. And we need to have a barbecue on the beach so we can get to know each other better before the big final battle. It's a very logical course of action that Bravern. Yeah, no. This is entirely tactical. Is why he's doing this. No reason other than that.
No confessions of love will be happening. Oh no, okay. It's
Whoa! I've stumbled on top of you, even though I'm a giant robot.
Like that was great. Like the kid kind of catching him was like, "Hey, dinner's ready. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna give you a few." That's cool because Bravern has. It's progressed the thing where he has to profess
some alone time.
Yeah, he has to profess his love. And I assume it was him who wrote like the little love umbrella on the beach.
Yes.
Drawn in the sand. Very lovey-dovey. But yeah. Good.
They get a
good stuff.
rundown of the remaining guys they've got to take down.
The plan is to bum rush them and just take them out one at a time. We double team them, that kind of thing. Yeah, should work.
Which goes pretty well. I love the guy who's like, "Hey, look, the arms come off, and I can rearrange them. What are you gonna do about that?"
Oh, he's got such fucking king energies. Like, if I just act really tough and get out of appearance, it'll just take care of itself once in a while.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And the other thing was like them being like, really, like, we'll go for it. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. It's like, whoa, back off. It's like, I don't sense any murderous intent from him. It's like, yeah, because he's not going to do anything. It's basically the joke.
Yeah, he's just got the steel jig, detachable limbs.
And no intent to use them. Yeah, yeah. No intent to use them besides display that he can do that thing. But he is pretty impressed with his head floating down a river of magma.
Yes, that's when Superbia and Bravern have their duel. And what's his line?
Because Superbia's like, right, now's the time to fight you because it's before the climactic battle, so I better fight you.
You gotta settle this.
It was worth getting my head cut off to witness something this cool.
Good shit.
They shake hands, and then they get taken down by the guy who represents Wrath.
Ira.
Irate.
He's more irate, I suppose, rather than wrathful. What do you mean, though? He's a serious business robot. He's got like pointy kind of like line face. He's got like like a solid bad guy style, like this big block of metal for a sword.
It's called a sword, but it is just a giant piece of blunt metal. But good enough if you swing.
You gotta swing that pretty hard to cut anything with it. That's how I know he's a pretty tough dude. So, and Bravern dies anyway. He's like, this wasn't meant to happen.
Bravern gets taken out. It's the bad ending. It's everything's gone to shit.
Sammy's alive. Bravern dead. You get the full death scene of the face closing up and everything, and the confession is just like, Sammy, this is like as far as we're gonna go. We're trying to save the world together. Fun thing. That's right. We're gonna save the world together. We can't be dead right now.
You gotta be a hero for me, Sammy. And the mask closes. He goes grey like Optimus Prime. It's just like he's definitely super double dead. Like, no coming back from this. And the next episode is it starts with Superbia trying to fight in Bravern's place using Bravern's sword. Very brave of him. Does not work out because he's too concerned with Lulu surviving than trying to beat this guy. Basically, it's like, I've learned better, and he ejects Lulu, ejecting his power, I guess, and also is bad. So we have Sammy bravely come forward and goes like, we're fucked, we surrender, like I'm done. Like I'm out.
I surrender.
I liked it that he kind of went, it's like he has a tearful thing with Bravern. It's like, Bravern, we were going to save the world together, weren't we? Well, we're fucked, and then the title kind of comes up. He's not brave because he's stupid. He's brave because he's an absolute fucking coward, but he will eventually pull through. Eventually, just give him a little run up at it. All right.
When he thinks he's dying, because he's seeing Smith's spirit in the afterlife, was saying, "Sammy, we meet again. It's so good to see you." You fucking asshole! I'm dead now because of you.
Why did you die? You promised you wouldn't die. And it's like, no, it's cool, dude. And he keeps like superimposing over Bravern, and it's like, oh fuck, you were Bravern the whole time. It's like, yeah, basically. So, time to do the fusion. The fusion dance.
I was like, if it worked once, and that means it can work again.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta believe.
And then we get this is where we get the Ultraman shot, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And it's also makes your hair grow longer. Isn't it? It's just he had the fun shot back in size before, but now he has the hero pilot here, so like whoosh has to escape the helmet hair bedding everyone. And he's gold. He's brave gold. What's it now? He's got even like more ostentatious name. Is
yes. Also, doing this hasn't like the body represents gluttony, eating himself to death.
No, I think it's
basically... he's in the volcano. He's just like, which Ultraman is so good. Again, like,
the mantle. Like, I thought I was going to fill up on the mantle, but fucking hell, that core is so fucking.
It's just like
rich.
the stomach expanding. It's very odd, Like, if of all of these things, they're like, if I'm going to have like the ultimate indulgence of that said kind of like sins, it's like some weird some impreg thing going on there with that.
It's good we don't focus on him, but Bravern's the amount of force that the new Bravern is changing the very core of the earth, which causes him to explode. Fucking fight for like it's just like that guy dies anyway because Bravern's power is actually increasing the power of planet Earth, making it too full for the fat guy. Yeah.
So once he's finish the last two off, then wouldn't you know, there's a ninth because this was their plan all along.
This was the one that was like in the orbit around the planet all this time, and it's just like, yes, if they're like, they sought absolute death, but I am absolute life. And that means like, like exploring like what life means. And I'll know what that means because there's 9 billion lives on this planet. And I'll know like 9 billion ways of why I live to snuff all of them out one by one.
Now that I got the basics down with all the kind of different sins and different like extremes
I am the
of emotion.
backstory to this whole thing, and getting shot in the face by a super attack. So you're just firing off in secrets because you're not really listening to this.
You're not listening to my shit. You're just shooting me with lasers. That's not cool.
It's like she appears, instantly gets shot, and then Bravern says we should hear her out.
We should hear her out.
You just shot her once.
Like Luda's kind of reeling from her uncle dying, and it's just like, wait, why is this different than before? It's like, oh, uncle didn't die in the last fucking loop, so yeah, that means that she
never
would have been
triggered.
summoned. Yeah. So that's what's triggered it this time. But yeah, her also going like, Bravern, if you say you're going to listen to someone, you can't shoot them with lasers before you start going like, bub. Let's hear her out. And it's like, so she's like, okay, I experienced death through these proxies, like these robot proxies before, and now I have 9 billion human intelligent life souls to experiment on and see how they die. And Bravern's like, so you're a baddie. Gotcha. Okay, you're my enemy then. Let's fight. just wanted to make that clear.
Then Lulu starts to ponder whether she could do the same thing that Asami has done. And of course, she can, and she does. Yep. And everybody else shows up as well.
Yeah, everyone jumps in. It's like, yes, we're sending the jets, fun. We remember them, how ineffective they are. They're coming into and all again, the robot shoots.
I was worried they were going to come in to die, but it's not that kind of fucking show. But also, when they're coming in, they are also interrupting this ultimate evil robot where she's still trying to talk and she's getting shot with fucking rockets and missiles and machine gun fire. And it's like, what? This is incredibly rude.
It gets very Gurren Lagann because, like, the power of bravery is something that exists inside all of us, and the more of it that you believe that you have, the more of it you will possess. You can just fire off, like, your what was previously an effective robot laser cannon, but now it's going to work something because now it's brave. You put your fucking bravery into it. You believe it's going to happen.
Yes, the amount of phrases with the word brave somewhere in them that are uttered within the last 10 minutes of the show, it's quite remarkable. So yes, Superbia's back up. He's gold as well now. He'll turn into a sword.
He doesn't get big like Bravern does, but he does.
No, because Bravern's got bigger because it's done the combination with the dragon, which is gold as well.
Yep.
I don't know if that's really explained, but it doesn't need to be. It's like the thing in the most recent chapter of One Piece where he goes through a panel where something is explained on panel, and then immediately something magical happens in the very next panel, which I thought was hilarious. And this is quite similar in its energy.
Yeah. That's actually gets huge. Burn Brave, Burn Brave. Oh God, Burn
the
Brave,
order, yeah.
Bravern, Burn Brave, Big Bang, Big Brave, Burst Up. There we go.
Yes, yeah.
Big Bang, Ultimate Final God Universe Break.
You got to think of a cool name for the final attack. I'll just throw it all out there. It'd be like additive,
I mean, like we did get Aoi kind of going like with all the Bravern attacks, including the what was it, the ba 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 ba.
Bravern's bash.
Yeah. Like he went through all of them without being prompted, without having the teleprompter explaining him what that attacks to do. He's like, he just went through them, and so now he's making up fucking very long attack
names. The
bravery
was inside you all along.
Yeah. He's such a better character than Shinji, isn't he? The guy who doesn't want to get in the mech, but when he does get in the mech, shit'll get done. It'll be better this way.
Well, I want to be a serious, cool robot guy, like in Gundam. But I know I've got to have like a hot-blooded like robot guy, like in fucking Geiger. So that's just where we're at. I just want to roll with it. It's for the good of the planet.
Yeah.
So they defeat the bad guys, but they're ejected from their robots, who then start to dissolve into dust. They're like,
thank you, Bravern. Thank you, Uncle.
Guess who's still there? Lewis is back. Also butt naked.
I mean, like the guys who were showing up in their regular mechs are wearing clothes. Like everyone who was ejected from a super mecha is naked, including Smith.
But it was like, oh, look at them. They're all together again and they're naked. Everyone's so happy.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep. And then they end on the Predator handshake.
Yeah. Everyone play the song again with the sound effects this time.
Yeah. And the sing along lyrics. The little fucking thing coming up so you can sing along with it. Great shit.
It's just like, here comes like this embodiment of some like, the fucking universal fucking life or death, and it's just see, you revealed my true face. It's just stop it. I'm trying to be serious right here. And it's also Rie Kugimiya, who usually plays a little precocious. I am the little tsundere anime girl who's just gonna get super mad and pouty, and it's just like keeps getting like knocked back. I'm trying to give my cool, like fun, profound speech here. You keep throwing super attacks at me. Stop it. Very indignant and saying, you can't grow big. It's just not fair fun saying, yes, I can. I programmed myself to grow big. It's just how it was going.
And it's such a fun, like, I guess we overthought it by them doing like a third loop that would explain what the fuck the Lulus are. No, they're just space
They
monsters.
tried to explain, but you won't let them finish.
You keep shooting me. I don't get to explain.
You don't care.
It doesn't matter. You just have to defeat the ultimate bad guy who has literally showed up, so you might as well just do it now. Yeah. It doesn't care to do any of that. It's just caring about having a very, very silly time and being incredibly fucking gay. So, yeah, hats off to
like, I find it interesting now that seeing as well where in parallel Metallic Rouge was kind of going. We have they're both sort of going for color coded like facets of the human fucking psyche or spirit or whatever you want to call it that expressing these kind of different robots. And one tries to like I guess shoot for the moon with missing guitar. This is like shooting for the moon and blowing it up, and then probably blowing up the planet behind it as well.
Yeah, this is keep it simple, stupid. Even though it has 2 time slips.
Which should make it complicated, and it really fucking doesn't. Like on the second time slip, I was like, "Oh, doesn't that erase the original Lulu?" And I was like, "No, this is the original Lulu. She's just occupying her body from years ago, so it's exactly the same person with all the same experiences."
The point at which the first time loop's finished, so
exactly. So we don't see any character erased or anything. Like all, I guess except for Superbia, all the goodies survived. But Superbia went out the way he wanted to go, so you don't even regret that. Like.
I suppose all of them got like the deaths they wanted to achieve.
Yes,
and like he went out, transformed into a sword to defend the honor of his niece.
So next week we're done with MASHLE, done with High Card. We got some Buchigiri geared to go. Sengoku Youko just carrying on for like 3 seasons, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just gonna keep running on.
There'll be one more Metallic Rouge. One more Witch and the Beast. Delicious and Dungeon is continuing.
Bravern's done. 2 in a row, I think.
There's 5 things we got to continue, and 2 of those are continuing through the next season. Next week, I've watched Train to the End of the World.
Oh, excellent.
So can talk about that.
Yeah, Bartender come out today. I'll be on that. It's in just a little while.
I didn't see Chibi Godzilla on my YouTube feed.
That didn't come up for me.
No, I didn't see it. Episode 1 apparently is out, but I think it's on the Toho channel, not the Godzilla channel, so it's not subtitled.
Okay. See if there's any other ones that are any decent. Sometimes they're not bad on that.
Is there anything else here? Just Doomsday Train, I believe, and Bartender so far. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tempted to watch Windbreaker just because it's called Windbreaker, and I'm I can't resist. And then Astronaut will be this week as well. That starts this week.
Oh, okay.
For sure, I'm watching.
Yeah. Okay.
I've gotten people excited about that. It's like, no, I really like the character design. It's really appealing to people and saying, yep, they did character design. It's fun. Saying, that's where I know them from. I love those. And then like,
yeah.
I'm trying to build up too much, but I guess I got my own kind of, let's say, hopes for that one, my expectations. So I think it'll be all right.
But yeah, I mean, like it's been like a fairly fucking solid, like a really great start to the year in terms of like good stuff. Yeah,
there's been some like ones in there. There are some things in here that I expected a bit more from, and then they just petered out. That's the most risky run with these things. As usually becomes a bit more like apparent sooner. I know I'm just dropping this, but then I know some were just like, no, you're spinning your wheels. Maybe you can still get out of the swerve, but it didn't really come off for some of them, and now it's too late. And it's just like, well, if I was going to slam into the walls, it might be a bit of an explosion when it does happen.
Yeah, I have to say, having lowered my expectations on the Red Cat Ramen trailer before watching it, I quite enjoyed the Red Cat Ramen trailer.
I think if it comes across, like, if you manage to get the acting good, I think it'll be fine if it doesn't look that fucking great. Because it's a lot of it is from the characters and the characterization, the interactions. Like, it doesn't need to be as high end looking.
Yeah, there's only a few chapters here and there where it involves Sabu, isn't it? That's the youngest, the black cat.
The black cat.
He's the one who acts the most.
I get the most annoyed by pets like that are very like willful, but he's definitely the cutest fucking cat for me. So yeah.
But yes, he's the youngest. He's got the youngest voice, and he's the naughtiest of the cats. They're not very naughty because they've all got jobs.
They've all got jobs. Unlike most cats, they are serious about their careers.
Yes, and then trying to. Some of them have already got it, and some of them are trying to get registered as human beings.
They get personhood status. They have to go to the local council, and I presume pass a fucking test. And it's just there's this side thing that cats can learn English and hold down jobs and achieve personhood, but the show is not concerned with fucking explaining any of that shit. It's just the periphery things like cats running a ramen restaurant, which is great.
Yes, but there's definitely chapters where you can see the allegory is these are cats representing immigrant workers.
Immigrants. Yes. Yeah. You're looking for citizenship status, not personhood status, but that would give you a bunch of rights, basically. Yeah.
Yes, it's particularly the latest chapter, which involves a salesman coming in and assuming the one human working in the shop is the one in charge.
That's not the first time that's happened. It probably won't be the last time it happens, basically. Yeah.
I was like, that's a bit on the nose. And then they make a point that the foreign customer is much nicer to them than the Japanese salesman.
Just make it fairly fucking on the nose. Why not? Yeah.
It's a really good comic, and hopefully it will be a good TV series as well. But yeah, the pre-credit stuff on Train to the End of the World is just what I wanted out of a Mizushima Yokotei show. It is fairly unhinged, which was what I was hoping for when the trailers is trying to sell you on. It's cute girls doing cute things. And then
it's the apocalypse.
Oh, but it's the type of apocalypse. It's one hell of an apocalypse. It is really something to see. So yeah, more about that next week. That'll be it for now. Ta-da. Bye-bye.
Be brave. Big bang.